You're listening to the John and Heidi Show, now featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. It's Sunny 93.3 with Mr. Dan Farris joining me right now. How you doing, Dan?
Well, I can't stress enough, and I guess, I hear it all the time, so it's easy to take it for granted, but I love that whole faith, freedom, and the best of speaking of which.
That was all my idea.
I know.
Just kidding. It was actually Dan's idea.
Speaking of freedom,
yes.
Tonight is it's another fantastic night, American Legion Post 15.
Oh, yeah.
It's karaoke night.
Is it really?
It's karaoke night.
We should go sing.
One of the few places in town all summer long. Thursday night's karaoke.
You are a bit of a singer, though, aren't you?
Well, I don't want to blow my own horn, John, but there was a day. The key is you break out the same couple of tunes every single time.
Yeah.
And used to win first place all the time years ago. I do a duet with Luke Jazz, who's Jake Jazz's kid brother, which isn't here nor there. Yeah. But we trade off, go back and forth with Escape Club's Wild Wild West.
Oh, yeah.
Smash hit from 1988, which the station plays.
Yeah, we played that.
It's a great tune, man. She's so mean, but I don't care. And I use Jake, or Luke Jazz, because he actually could do the French part.
Oh,
just
really?
nail it. Yeah, we were pretty awesome.
That is cool.
And we'd win. Well, I'll just be honest. I actually owned the bar at the time, so
that kind of helped, did it?
Pretty simple to just kind of claim that first prize.
On the contest, $1 million karaoke contest. I won again.
How come he won? He only owns a joint. Just don't look at him. Don't look him in the eye. He gets a little surly.
It's $1 million karaoke contest. He don't have that kind of coin to pay out. He has to win.
Yeah, and if I don't have a partner, if I'm soloing, I like to throw people a curve and do a little Carrie Underwood.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
So I dug my key into the side of his pretty little souped-up four-wheel drive. People go, what is wrong with him?
We should be doing karaoke here now.
Well, we just did, kind of, yeah.
Oh, we kind of did.
So, yeah, get out there. Hey, karaoke, American Legion Post 15, right over there, just south of the Premier Center, in case you don't know. And so, yeah, go lay it out. Plus, a lot of people don't know this. Post 15, they do an amazing amount of things out in the community here, too.
They're very involved in baseball and many, many, many other things.
Oh, Post 15, their baseball program is it's absolutely incredible, and they do a lot of things with today's youths.
Yes,
and,
they do
things of that nature.
Keeping the kids off the dang streets.
So yeah, they fought for us, so go support them, man.
Absolutely. Tonight would be a good night to do it with karaoke, and again, that's all at the American Legion in Sioux Falls. Also, don't forget, air show going on this week. Later in the morning, we're going to be reaching out and chatting with a gentleman about the Sioux Falls Air and Space Expo. That's all on the way.
This thing is, if you've never been to an air show, plus bonus, Blue Angels this year.
Yeah, they just showed up yesterday.
Oh, this stuff is phenomenal. It's a pretty action-packed weekend going on.
It is going to be really, really cool. We're going to be out there for some of it, so be following along at facebook.com/sunnyradio.
Do you use a credit card? Is it a good one? Do you get points and perks? Are they for things that you actually use? We have a site that compares credit cards from a bunch of different banks and from a bunch of different credit card companies to help you find the very best credit card for you. It's absolutely free to see if there's a better credit card for you at bettercreditcards.net. With many of the credit cards, you can even roll over a balance if you find a better deal. Check it out now at bettercreditcards.net.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. It is Sunny 93.3, and it's time right now for Ranger Dan's Critter Corner.
Well, I'm rough, tough, and ready. I'm a heck of a man. Eat my beans and weenies from a frying pan.
He's Ranger Dan!
Yes, sir. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I like to poke bears and lasso ducks and kill them possums in my government truck.
He's Ranger Dan!
Yes, sir. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I loves all the critters and the campers too, but if you're wearing Crocs, I'm coming after you.
He's Ranger Dan!
Yes, sir. I'm Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
Ranger Dan!
Well, good morning, my little radio Ranger buckaroos. It's another rangery day out on the prairie. Been getting reports. I, in fact, had a question from a young radio ranger just the other day. Yeah. Said, "Hey, Ranger Dan," and I said, "Hey, you," because I didn't know his name.
Hey, you.
He said, "Hey, my Aunt Lil's got bats in her house."
Oh, no.
I said, "I'm not in charge of anybody's house. I'm a ranger."
Yeah.
Then it occurred to me, Bats are everywhere. And what about bats? And are there rules? And are there different bats? And what do we do with them? Because, they can come around campfires too. Bats are one of God's greatest little creatures. Do you realize little Ranger John, that bats can eat up to 500 insects in 1 hour?
No kidding.
In 1 hour.
Wow, they must be hungry.
They're fast, they're nasty, they're surgical, they're pretty amazing. Unfortunately, about 3% of the bat population has rabies.
Oh, no, that's not good.
And that's when life gets pretty fun.
So don't pet bats is what you're saying?
So I said, hey, little radio ranger whose name I don't know, if your Aunt Lil has bats in the house, here's the deal. Number one, they are protected.
Okay.
Bats are a protected species.
Yes.
In other words, you cannot legally kill them. You are supposed to call a professional bat retrieval, bat removal team.
You're going to call bat people.
You can call animal control.
Oh, really?
You can take those kinds of things. Or you can do what Ranger Dan, you just run down to Play It Again Sports Talk today. You get a used tennis racket for like $12. Bounce him around a little bit. You say, I'm not saying kill him. No.
Just catch him on the racket. That's
No,
all.
but if he's in your house, especially if they're on the floor kind of crawling, kind of looking at you,
Yeah.
the odds are pretty good. That's a rabid bat.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. So if you got something at your disposal there, kind of, shoo him out the door. And if he goes comatose on the way out, well, no harm, no foul, because somebody's got to report that activity.
Really?
Before you're fined.
Oh, yeah.
In the meantime, bats are, they're pretty groovy, and they're kind of cute if you squint at them.
You squint a lot.
You don't want to pick them up and like stare at them too hard.
They're not huggable and, snuggly.
They're not, but they don't actually like being in houses. They normally end up in there by accident, as a matter of fact. Yep,
So if you
they
just
like
open
hanging
the door and
outdoors.
say, good day, sir. You can leave now.
Sometimes, or again, go see my friend Dave at Play It Again Sports.
He's got bat rackets.
All there is to it. I'm Ranger Dan. Hey, little radio rangers, stay in school, say your prayers, go to church, eat your vegetables. Do not play soccer. Don't let me get you wearing Crocs. Ranger Dan out. Yes, sir.
Right. Ranger Dan's Critter Corner on Sunny 93.3.
How much do you pay for cable TV or satellite each month? Many people spend well over $100 every month for TV. But many smart consumers are cutting the cable and satellite with ChannelSurferTV.com. We have some amazing HD antennas that allow you to pick up a bunch of local TV networks for free. We also have a DVR that allows you to record the shows and watch them when you have time. Watch TV with no monthly fee with ChannelSurferTV.com. That's ChannelSurferTV.com.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. It's Sunny 93.3 with Mr. Dan Farris joining us now for Water Cooler Talk, brought to you by Aqua One. What do you have today, Dan? I see you've got quite the report you're going to file here.
Oh, boy, this is something else.
You got boxes sitting around. You got pages all over the place.
Woo, being a rough and tumble investigative reporter sometimes is not easy. This is pretty insane. Normally, every summer, you'll hear a report or two about vandalism.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody, broke a window, somebody did this, somebody spray painted
Rapscallions.
something. This is crazy. In the past half week or so, there's been a little better than 44 reports of glass windshields being either smashed out or shot out of cars.
Oh, no.
Not in just one area either. It's all over town.
No kidding.
Yup, taking out windshields. You think about it. What the average cost of windshield replacement?
$100.
Yeah, it's about $350.
Yeah.
Normally right in there somewhere. So we're looking at about over $15,000 worth of damage so far. Police aren't sure who's doing it. They can't quite get a beat on it because it's south, east, north, west.
So whoever it is, they're traveling.
They are, and it's happening at night, but it is only cars that are parked on the streets.
Oh,
So if your vehicle is garaged or up near the house, you're probably going to be okay. But meantime, this is still going on. And being an investigative reporter and being a good model citizen, such as I am, all I can suggest is this. And I actually dug pretty deep and I looked into it. Okay. If your car has to be on the street at night, and it's going to take a little effort on your part, possibly a little discomfort, but sleep in that vehicle. Sleep in that vehicle. Now, wait a minute, I'm not done.
Oh, okay.
You can, these days, legally own a military handheld grenade launcher.
You can, okay.
So I dug a little deeper. You can pick up a U.S. Army Marine. It's a 40-millimeter M79.
Oh, wow.
It was released in 1961. It became a big deal during the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
And it's still around. They are stockpiled everywhere. You can get one of these bad boys for like $250.
No, okay. Where you pick something like that up?
Well, exactly. You can just do it online. I did.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
They started like $250, but here's what you have to know. You cannot use the barrel it comes with.
Oh, okay.
You cannot use that M79 barrel. You've got to retrofit it with a 37 millimeter barrel, smoothbore. And then you can actually classify it as just a flare gun.
Really?
Yeah.
So what would one do with said flare gun once you have somebody vandalize your windshield?
Well, you're sleeping in your car, and you probably got some snacks, and maybe you're watching some videos or something, and all of a sudden, boom, there goes the windshield. Hey, man, you're up. Bang, you're out that door. Boom, one shot, we're done.
Shoot them with flare gun and catch their car
Yeah,
on fire.
flare gun, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. That's what it is.
Don't take any advice from this man.
I'm just a solution provider.
Well, you are providing solutions. So we're just not saying they're good ones.
My takeaway on this is it's amazing what you can find online.
Oh, I bet it is. Well, thank you for that report, Dan.
Yeah, and hey, if you're one of them hooligans, rapscallions running around doing that, man, knock it off.
They're not. They're not listening to this station. I mean, our listeners would never do that kind of thing.
No, absolutely not. But their kids might.
Yeah. So you tell your kids to stop doing that.
Hooligans.
I think their kids are good, too. They wouldn't do that.
That's a lot of damage, man.
It is. That's a bad idea. It reminds me of a story I'm going to make really brief because coming up in a minute, we're going to be calling and doing a little air show chat. This is like 20 years ago. I remember reading a story about a guy who owned a window replacement store.
And he was doing the damage.
He paid some kids to go throw rocks through windows.
Oh, that's
interesting. And they finally
eh?
got caught, and they turned on him. And they turned him in. He got to go to jail over that.
Well, and by the way, we may as well turn this into a plug, too, because maybe you did or maybe you did not know this.
What's that?
But my all-time favorite auto body operation in the entire world, Anderson's Collision Center.
Yeah.
Who has done 5 amazing jobs for me over the past 20-plus years.
Yeah.
They do windshield replacement.
Do they really?
Yes, they do.
Son of a gun.
If you think their body work's amazing, they're fantastic at this, too. So
that's very, very good to know.
There you go.
Coming up, we're going to talk air show. It's actually the Air and Space Show. That's on the way on Sunny 93.3.
It's T-shirt weather. Be sure to show off your personality with an awesome, funny shirt from FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. We have some of our own funny T-shirt designs, but we're excited to have thousands of funny designs from other amazingly talented designers too. At FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. Did you know you can even upload your own designs and make money with your twisted sense of humor? Why not? Check it out. FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. That's FunkyMonkeyShirts.com.
Sunny 93.3. Thank you for listening on a Thursday. We've got on the phone with us right now Rick Tupper. He's with the Sioux Falls Air and Space Expo, and everything kind of started yesterday, but we've got more stuff happening today, don't we, Rick?
We do. Today is just another follow-on to a great week of air stuff. The sights and sounds that you're going to see and hear over Sioux Falls continue. Today, the exciting piece is going to be our key performers are going to arrive today, the United States Air Force Thunderbirds. So you're going to see them arrive over Sioux Falls today. When they arrive, they're going to kind of cut the air up a little bit because what they do is they have to find their wayfinding points, if you will. So as you can imagine, at the speeds that they're going when they're doing all these performances and stunts and things, they have to know where they're at. So they'll kind of cut the air up over Sioux Falls looking for different things on the ground that they will key on throughout the rest of the weekend.
Very nice. So if you see them cruising around today, that's what's going on today and tomorrow. And then coming up tonight, there's a hangar dance from 7 to 11 at the Maverick Air Center. Tell me a little more about that.
Yeah, every show we want to do a tribute to something. So this air show, we're doing a tribute to our Vietnam War veterans. And so what we've done is we've created a hangar dance or a hangar party to kind of pay tribute to them. And part of that will be we're trying to set the theme to that 1970s type of theme. So we're going to have a live band that's going to be playing music from the 1960s and 1970s. You'll have an opportunity where you can come out and purchase a ride in a Vietnam-era Huey helicopter. We'll also have a number of Vietnam-era military aircraft on display that you can come out and see. Some of them are also giving rides. But I think it's an opportunity for us to say thank you for your service, also giving people the opportunity to kind of take a look up close to some of this aircraft that would have been used during that conflict.
I've got a link to all of the information if you want to learn more about the hangar dance or anything at all about the Sioux Falls Air and Space Expo. Rick, thank you again for taking time to chat.
Yeah, thank you.
And I've got a link to all of this information on our Facebook page, facebook.com/sunnyradio.
Do you use a credit card? Is it a good one? Do you get points and perks? Are they for things that you actually use? We have a site that compares credit cards from a bunch of different banks and from a bunch of different credit card companies to help you find the very best credit card for you. It's absolutely free to see if there's a better credit card for you at bettercreditcards.net. With many of the credit cards, you can even roll over a balance if you find a better deal. Check it out now at bettercreditcards.net.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. It's Sunny 93.3 with today's entertainment news of the day with Mr. Dan Farris.
Because celebrities are
fabulous.
Fabulous. Just isn't the same without Heidi just pitching in and going and going. Nuts.
One more day of her suspension and then she'll be back.
Celebrity thing. One of the really great things about being a celebrity is you can completely screw up everything, screw up your life, take a bunch of innocent people down with you, and whoa, say you're sorry, and oh, we're good. Hey, look at that, another career relaunch. I've remade myself. I've rebranded myself. Everything's fine. Which brings us to the wild and wacky world, and you know what? I've always been a fan.
Oh, yeah? Who's that?
Mike Tyson.
Oh, yes.
Mike Tyson, who I thought was possibly one of the greatest, not necessarily boxers, but certainly one of the greatest punchers in the world.
I would never, ever in a million years want to be on the receiving end of a blow from that guy.
So he went through a lot of tumultuous stuff, and, and he was a perv, and he did his time, served, time in a prison in Indiana, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And perhaps you've seen his appearances in the Hangover movies, right? Yeah. He, as crazy as Mike is, from this story I'm reading, apparently he invested big time a few years ago in marijuana.
Really?
Which, of course, is becoming legal and a pretty big deal, cannabis. And he claims, well, because he's crazy, that he smokes retail now, $40,000 worth of pot a month.
What?
Yeah, which is about 10 tons.
Are you kidding?
No,
what does he do? He must not have time to do anything else.
Well, he's broken ground on what he calls the Tyson Ranch near Desert Hot Springs. That's going to include, and this whole thing is just for a marijuana getaway.
Oh, my
God.
goodness.
A total resort, a luxury hotel, great big pop-up tents, bars, a lazy river going through the thing, music festival venues.
Just like marijuana Disneyland.
Yes, for grown-ups. And he's in
Disney, I apologize for using that name in association with this topic.
But he says marijuana saved his life.
How?
I don't know.
The thing, I thought where you were going with this, because we just read a story about Mike Tyson being the presenter at a conference for one of the sports teams. They brought him in for an anger management seminar.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. What? Did I read that right? The same Mike Tyson who bit Evander Holyfield's ear off? He's the guy...
That was pretty cheeseball, yeah.
You're going to have that guy come in and talk about anger management? I'm like, hey, everybody listen up. Lend me your ears.
That was 1989. I have a T-shirt from that fight.
Do you really?
Honest to goodness gracious. Honest to goodness. The ranch, by the way, broke ground December of 2017.
Holy cow.
Strangely enough, it's not fully built yet. But,
really? Everybody's getting stoned instead of working on it, apparently.
Yeah. It's so weird seeing who was just an absolute beast in the ring is just kind of walking around going, hey.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you got any chips?
I just can't even imagine.
Actually, one of the best quotes ever, and I don't know how he didn't end up writing for the Hallmark card company, but direct quote, Mike Tyson, everyone has a plan till you punch him in the face.
That is a pretty good quote. Well, Dan, thanks for that report, my friend.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted. This is just weird, man.
Good stuff. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Mr. Dan Farris on Sunny 93.3.